Hi guys, I'm Matt from Secco Wine Club and PALEO 61 Wines. I am so excited to have Piergiorgio Castellani from Castellani Winery here with me today. He's in town from Italy to San Diego, our home base. And I've got a lot of questions for you today from our community that comes to us basically daily. So I'll be hitting you up with a lot of questions today. And if you don't mind, can you kind of give us a little background on your family, the wine business, and really what wine means to you in the winemaking?
Thank you, Matt. So yeah, my family is producing wine since more than 6th generation in a region where the wine is produced since more than 2,500 years. So before Christ, the Etruscans, exactly where I now cultivate my vineyard, were cultivating their vineyard with the exact same grapes. So it's a family business, but is a very long-standing heritage in our region. And yes, I work with my father and my uncle, and we have 7 different estates, 7 different vineyards in Tuscany, spread around. And we have a central bottling plant where we bottle and take care of we analyze all our wines, and from there we ship all over the world in 45 countries in the world.
That's great. You know, one of the things we always talk about at Secco Wine Club is really kind of knowing the entire process. We call it grape to glass. Obviously from you guys it goes from dirt to glass, right? So
yeah,
really
exactly.
Knowing the vines, knowing the grapes, and really going to the bottling to actually the pour of the wine itself. There's been a big movement within really understanding what goes into food, right? Biohacking your system, understanding what foods you take in, what the ingredients are, and that's really kind of go over into where we are right now with wine. You've been in this business for a long time. Has that always been your focus, is natural wines?
Yes, Matt, we are what we eat. It's very important. I live with my family in the middle of a vineyard. So I live inside the cultivation. So if I poison my cultivation, I poison myself and my family. And this is very important. This is a fact.
Right.
So I understood how much is important to respect yourself, your family, your life, and your customer and the people that drink what you produce in your vineyard. Now, in wine, there are not laws that oblige the producer to indicate what is in the wine. People think wine is just squeezed and fermented grapes. It's not true. If you just take a bottle from the supermarket and make an analysis, you will discover that yes, you have fermented grape juice, but then you have a lot of different kind of chemicals that are used to stabilize the wine, to add color, to make the wine a little more round and soft. A lot of sugar sometimes. There are wines that contain more than 37 grams of sugar in 1 liter. So it means roughly 8 coffee spoons of sugar in a 75 milliliter bottle.
Wow.
That's a lot. It's 2 fingers of sugar in a wine bottle. And this is not natural.
And that, you know, at least one of my last questions on the background, like, and really looking forward, I mean, where do you see the wine industry in 5 years, 10 years, even 15 years down the road? I mean, it's changed dramatically since the last, I'll call it last 5 years, right? From people really understanding what's going in their body, really wanting to understand the clean processes that go into their food, their wine, everything that basically goes into their system. They want to know. What do you see that trend? Do you see that trend continuing? Do you see that kind of fatiguing? How do you see the wine industry going forward?
Yeah, it's very much connected with the culture of people, with information, and also with the changing of the viticulture all around the world. We understood that there are some type of viticulture that are unsustainable. We have seen this, for example, in Australia, where we are going through a very heavy drought. So it became very difficult to artificially irrigate vineyards in area where the vineyard naturally could not grow, for example. In some region of the world, producer planted vineyard in the desert, where a vine would never born by itself. So for example, in Italy, we produce wine only where a vine can survive without artificial irrigation. So with the climate changing, the viticulture and the agriculture in general need to change to become more sustainable, more natural. And this is a forced trend given by the fact that everybody can see that things are changing. On the other side, the people is becoming more conscious of the fact that our health depends mainly from what we eat. It's very important to understand food, to understand yourself, to understand the way to have a better life, and to understand the way to feed your kids, for example. And we really need to ask to be informed. And we really need to ask to the authority to introduce the possibility of being conscious of what is in the food that we eat.
Yeah, most definitely.